Hey guys, welcome back to the B Corner. My name is Bola Abioye. Nice to meet you. And in today's video, I'll be telling you about 7 daily habits that have changed my life for the better. I mean, they've changed my life forever. Okay, so like this habit I'm about to talk about today are things that I've had to learn along the way. But I'm just hoping that with this video, I can like spill this habit and someone listening to me today doesn't have to do trial and error like I had to do over the years to like form this habit. I know, you know what, this is what works for me. I hope someone out there can take this habit and incorporate them into their lives and just poof have like an automatically better life, like magic, because these habits, they really work like magic. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. So guys, while I was preparing to talk about this, I was just remembering how this time last year I read Atomic Habits, and for me it just brought together like everything I've been doing in my life, like why whatever I've been doing has been working. So many of the things in that book, I realized that I was already like doing some of these things without actually thinking of it. So that book helped me to consolidate my thoughts and made me even stronger in my resolve to do the things that I was already doing. Okay, and some of the principles I would be sharing will be based on things I learned from the book. And the biggest one for me is actually about the fact that if you want to change a habit or if you want to form a habit, you have to form a system around that habit. For instance, if you wanted to go to the gym, you have to form a system to say, okay, I want to go to the gym on Wednesday by 6 p.m. You have to be very specific. Are you going to do it right after work? Are you going to come home after work and then go to the gym? Or are you just going to go straight from work? You really need to have a system around it. So for me, things like that, my system, or in that kind of case, if I was in your shoes and I wanted to go to the gym, say for 6 p.m. on Wednesday evening, for me, I could go, okay, right after work, I'll go to the changing room, change to my gym gear. And once I'm in my gym gear, then I have no choice. I just have to go to the gym, right? So I end up in the gym. Okay, so like that is like forming a system. So that way I'm already dressed for the gym. There's no like barriers to me going from work to the gym because like it's all straightforward. I'm in my gym gear, I'm good to go. There's no reason why I wouldn't go. That way it makes it easy. I don't have to like think further because I have given myself a time. I basically formed the system. I have my gym gear, I have everything to sort of like take away every barrier to me achieving my goal. Okay, so that is just it. So the habits I'm about to talk about today, while it's important to like actually incorporate those habits into your life, the system with which you incorporate those habits is what will make it easier to have those habits. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. But without further ado, let's actually get into the habits I'm about to talk about. Okay, so the first habit I'm going to talk about today is to live a life of abundance. So this is something I've incorporated into my daily life, like living a life of abundance. I know everyone talks about it, abundance this, abundance that, everything like that, but trust me, it really shows in the little things. So I like to read books, and last year I was reading a lot about personal finance because I really wanted to understand everything. And what I've noticed about most people that talk about personal finances, there's a lot of being frugal and everything like that. So I was very much in that mindset that last year, and to be honest, like I was frugal to a large extent because I just want to test the systems and see how they work. And what I've just realized is that many of those systems, they leave out something, which is like living in abundance. And the thing about it is that it's not woo or anything. It's not like new agey. Like if you don't live in abundance, even if you get to your financial goal, you could be very frustrated. You could be very drained. You could be living a very unhappy life because you've been very frugal. So I believe in living a life of abundance through like even the little things. So like spending on things you really care about. So guys, an abundant mindset could really be as small as taking a cab to as big as booking a trip. Okay, so you just decide based on your income level and based on what your goals are, what makes you happy, your individuality, etc. Okay, so the second daily habit that has really changed my life is solitude. Okay, so having that time in the day where everything is just quiet, in a world where there's podcasts, there's TikTok, There is Instagram, there is X, Twitter. There is all sorts of things really that are always waiting to grab your attention. Even ebooks and productivity stuff, as good as they can be, they could also be really distracting when it comes to like your inner thoughts and really self-reflecting. And it's really important to have, spanning from 5 to 30 minutes a day where you're just like quiet, you just listen to yourself, you're trying to figure out what's going on inside within you, because sometimes we can have like massive emotional reactions where you just realize, oh, I'm upset for some reason, or I'm not happy, or I'm just sad. Or really getting to the root of those things requires some solitude. No music, no background noise, no podcast, just tuning in and listening to yourself. That is so important. So definitely, like, if you can incorporate solitude into your life, I think it's life-changing, because if you understand yourself better, then it's easier to actually like relate that which you understand about yourself to other people. Then when someone triggers something in you, you know exactly what it is. When someone does something to upset you, you know exactly what it is, how to react, because you know yourself. How you show up in the world, how you react to situations will change drastically once you take that time of the day to really like reflect on what's going on in your life. If you're happy, if you're not happy, that sort of thing. Trust me, it's life-changing. Try solitude today. Okay, guys, and the next one that I think is so important that everyone needs to do to sort of like have this amazing life is to have a to-do list. Gosh, have you had like 1,001 things to do before and your head is just like spinning? Do you know, like, you can totally change that by just like making a list. Like, just making a list, just literally make a list, and like it's all sorted. So like, if you can, like, definitely make a list. You can use, these days technology makes it easier. I use my notes app a lot to make a list of things that I need to do, make a list of things I need to buy. That way I don't need to spend like my mental energy on remembering lists. That way I can spend my mental energy elsewhere. I can be present with people I love, because I'm not carrying this burden of like lists. Trust me, I used to be one that wouldn't write a list because I feel like I'm smart, I would remember, blah blah blah. But no, just write it down. If you can like take off some load from you can take off some mental load, why not? By just literally typing. That's something we do all the time. So definitely make those lists today, okay? Having a to-do list of all your errands you need to run, even life admin stuff, like, oh, maybe you want to go register with your GP, you want to go somewhere, you want to go to the bank, making a list of all those things. Because there's that thing about walking around thinking, oh my god, I have so much to do, but what do you have to do? You don't even like know exactly. You just know like it's bits and pieces here and there, and you have that heavy heart walking around thinking, oh my god, I have so much to do, and so you're not able to even be present or even really enjoy life because you're just so busy thinking about all these things you need to do. Okay, make a list today. Life-changing, I promise. Okay, and the next one, which is what I absolutely love, because also reading Atomic Habits last year really encouraged me on this, because I already did all this before. I really always did this particular point I'm about to mention before, but reading Atomic Habits, that book, oh my god, took it to the next level. Reading Atomic Habits just made me more confident. Like, look, this next point I'm about to make is really solid, and that is having a routine. Oh gosh, guys, if you don't know by now, like, I am the queen of routines. I have morning routine, night routine. I think routines are lifesavers. I have a gym routine. I have everything routine, work routine. I have a routine for everything. Think of it, I have a routine, and that keeps you going in life. No matter what's going on in your life, if you have something to always go back to, at this time I should be doing that, at that time. I know routines can be boring, but you can always switch it up. For my skincare, on some days I use retinol, other days I don't. Like, sometimes it's gonna be a Tuesday, sometimes gonna be Monday and Thursday, sometimes gonna be Tuesday and Friday. Who knows? So like, I can really like switch things up. I know they're really basic when you think about it, but these little things are like life-changing. And the fact that I have a routine, for instance, for using something like retinol, then I could like have like skin that doesn't age as fast, because naturally I just use my retinol without even thinking of it, because I know like I need to do that twice a week, because it's a routine for me. A routine is a routine. Once you're used to like it, you just keep doing it. And think if you have like many routines over many years, like, the results are going to be exponential. It's just like investing in like stocks and shares, like how the results like builds, like you gain interest on the interest you made in the past. That's how it is with routines. If you have gym routines, if you have, just do it. Just make those routines, okay? And the thing about routines is that instead of being a habit. So the habit for me there is having a routine, but really the system of the routine is what is life changing for me. The fact that I have a system as to how I do my skincare, the fact that I have a system as to how I work out in the gym, I have a system as to how I even like go from like work to like the gym. Oh my god. And read Atomic Habits if you can. That book, life changing. I know I've been using that word over and over, but because that is truly what it is. Yeah, so have a routine, honestly. And if you need like help on routines, I have some skincare routines on my channel. Definitely check out my channel, but for now I would link up there my nighttime skincare routine, and you can check that. Not just my skincare routine, but my nighttime general wind down routine. Check that out, and I'm sure you would benefit from it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay, if you're still here with me at this point, I need you to actually wait for the last one, because the last one is something that I started doing very recently. So if you're watching that one, that's the number 7th one, 7. You would actually be going along with me on this journey, because I'm on the journey to actually exploring this last one. It's a more recent habit that I've been doing for about the past less than 2 months. So we'll both be new in it, and you know, when we come out on the other side successful, we can both share the story. So definitely stay tuned to hear the last one, and do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, guys. I'd really appreciate that. I always like make nice videos on lifestyle, travel, skincare, all things beauty. Yeah, definitely subscribe to my channel. You totally love it, you won't regret it. Check my other videos out. Cheers. And the number 5 habit on my list is doing some form of fitness every day. Okay, and doing some form of fitness every day doesn't necessarily mean going to the gym. It's just about taking care of your health. So it could be as little as stretches on your bed. Have you had a good stretch session before? Have you had like a good yoga session? Oh my god, it's so relaxing, it's so relieving. For me, there was a time where I struggled with anxiety, and doing yoga, doing stretches, as little as that, took away all that stress, took away all that anxiety. Just for 5 minutes, I felt like so much better. So trust me, even doing something like stretches, great. I don't want to say life changing again, but trust me, it can be life changing. Incorporating fitness into your life, for me, an easy one is walking, and that is so simple to do. Anyone can walk. Even if you don't have a gym, you can walk. And I'm not talking about like stressful kind of walking. You can walk 30 minutes and, you know, walk to a park, walk somewhere, just walk. If you go to work and maybe you could walk instead of like cycling or driving, try it. Oh, cycling is also a good one, by the way, but you can always choose. So for me, if I can, like, I walk a lot to like work, I walk to like the shops when I know like maybe I could drive or I could get cab or something. Walking is great. So even days that I don't go to the gym, I know like my cardiovascular health is being looked after, because I did some walking, I took a few steps, I'm meeting like my goals in terms of like my movement goals and all those things. So having a fitness routine would really make things good for you. And then on top of that, you can now incorporate, say, gym days or swimming days or yoga days or Pilates days into it, where maybe you could go for a class, or you could go to like a gym or a swimming center, whatever works for you. You know what? The point is just making fitness a habit for a start and building on that. Like I said, the rewards for habits are always exponential, literally like investing in the stock market. So we're not talking about additions here, we're talking about multiplications. Okay, so the earlier you start, the better. All right. Another habit that has changed my life is definitely doing something that sort of frightens me every day. And when I talk about doing something that frightens you, many people think about, oh my god, I have to do something crazy. I have to book a trip to like Mount Everest. I need to go to like the Kenyan summit, something like that. It doesn't have to be that deep. Honestly, things as little as things you would ask your friend about on a normal day. Maybe you go to ask your friends, oh, should I post that picture on my story? Do you know what I mean? All those kind of little things. Instead of doing that, do it afraid. Why not post it? As long as it's not something that will be detrimental to you or your future. Hey, disclaimer. As long as it won't be detrimental to you or your future, you can always like post something on your story. Or so when I say doing something afraid, I don't mean you should necessarily post something on your story. Just an example. So things that you normally ask, like you're asking people for permission to do them, you can just go ahead and do them by yourself without asking for permission. And that way you're building your own self-confidence and you're building your experience bank. You know how we work, you're building work experience. I feel like you need to build life experiences as well. So when I talk about doing something that makes you a bit scared or afraid, it could also be as little as, or well, it could be as little as posting something on your story, to maybe something bigger, like even booking like, you know, an event, or booking, when I say booking an event, like buying tickets for an event or something like that, something that adds to your life in some way, or booking that spa trip, or, you know, just doing something, you know, it doesn't have to be really expensive, or just going out of your comfort zone. That's the real thing. So the whole point of doing something you're afraid of is like stepping out of your comfort zone and having that life experience, that courage. So you know what, if I'm stuck by myself, then I can depend on myself. So having those experiences that make you feel like you can depend on yourself, that is so life-changing. That is so amazing. So I think you should definitely like incorporate that habit into your life. For me, this was something that I needed to like learn or understand, that this really helps me, this really builds my confidence over many years, especially in times when, oh my god, these are things that I didn't really know who to ask about. I didn't really know who was the best person to ask about this thing. So I just went ahead and I did it. And I just realized, wait a minute, this has given me some form of advantage. I feel more confident because I could do this thing, because I did it without, you know, asking for anybody's permission. I just went for it and it's worked for me. So yeah, definitely do something today. As long as it's not detrimental to your future, as long as it won't hurt you, definitely go for it. Okay, that is something that will absolutely change your life. So look for something every day. Look for one thing that you can do to sort of like make things to sort of build that experience bank, to sort of like, you know, build that confidence in yourself. 7th life-changing habits that's changed my life for the better forever. Okay, so that habit is letting go at the end of each day. Okay, letting go at the end of each day. That's part 1. And then trying to manifest the future I want instead. Okay, hear me out, guys. I know sometimes that word manifest, oh, what do you mean, and all that is a bit like, I don't know, maybe a bit triggering for some people. But what I simply mean is, number 1, letting go of what happens at the end. You know how I talked about reflecting as one of my points? So yeah, why reflection is good. At the end of the day, when you're about to sleep, it's important, especially if you've not had like very pleasant experiences throughout the day, it's very important not to like carry that energy to sleep. Okay, so at the end of the day, I suppose you reflected sometime during the day, or maybe in the evening, you had your solitude reflection time sometime in the evening. But at that point, when you're about to sleep, I need you to let go of everything that happened that day. I know this can be hard, especially if you're going through a hard time, but as much as you can, whatever bits and pieces you can let go of, just let go of it and breathe and let things be. Okay, and while you're sleeping, instead of thinking of everything that's happened, think of what you want to happen. Think of the kind of future you want before you fall asleep, because that is the mindset you want to fall asleep in, because whatever you take to bed sort of like multiplies in the morning. So that's why even some gratitude coaches say, you know, write things you're grateful about before you sleep, because that puts you in a good mood for the next day. So instead of that, why not think about, because gratitude just puts you in a nice thinking mode, right? Makes you think of positives, right? So it's the same principle. Think about what you want. Think about good things you want rather than the bad things that happen, because those bad things, they sort of like want to catch up with you at the end of the day. But instead of that, why not just try to think about what you want to happen instead of those bad things? That is so good. That's been making me like have nice dreams, good nights, waking up in a good mood. So yeah, I think you should try it out. I think you should absolutely try it out. Try and let me know what you think. So that one, I think, is even one of the most important points that I've made in this video. Really thinking about good things you want to happen rather than like bad things, or letting bad things like run through your mind. At the end of the day, even the Holy Book says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you don't want to be stuck thinking on bad things. It's nice to reflect for brief moments and make sure at the end of the day you're letting it all go, and then you're allowing only good thoughts before you sleep. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. It's B, and bye bye.